Good morning, students. Welcome to online session of Social Sciences. Today I'll explain chapter 5th of History. Name of the chapter is Architecture as Power, Forts and Sacred Places. In the previous classes we have understood that Mughal rulers, they were very magnificent builders, and they have made many architecture, building and gardens, etc. Now the Sultans of Delhi, they were also a good builder, but in comparison to Mughal ruler, they were not very magnificent. But they have founded new cities, they have built palaces, rest houses, bridges, mosques and tombs. So in this manner, it has been written that Indian architecture entered in a new phase under the Muslim rulers during the medieval period. Now at this time, the traditional Indian architecture style, it was fused. Fusion means combination. It was combined with the architecture of Arabian, Persian and Central Asian architecture. Now we can say that in the early Muslim rulers, they were very influenced by the architecture style that they had so far been exposed to. Now as they were living in the Central Asia, Afghanistan and even Persia, they were using the domes, flints and minarets. The same that architecture they have tried to make here in India, but because of the difference of climate here, or as the geography that influenced the architecture, they have done some modification in their buildings. As we all know that Babur, he was invited in India by Daulat Khan Lodi. That he was the governor of Punjab. So as Babur, he reached here India, he found the climate very hot and very dusty. So, and he was very fond of natural beauty. As he was there, when he was there in Kabul, he was having a lot of natural beauty, and he had made a lot of architecture, like they have made gardens there, they have made many mosques, tombs, etc. So in this manner they have started making some architectural, they have used the architectural style and they have made different kinds of building here in India. Some of the examples of that architecture are Srinagar's famous Shalimar Bagh, Nishad Bagh and Chashmashi, that is the Mughal garden at Pinjore in Punjab, and many other are there. Now in this, the Taj Mahal can be included. As the Taj Mahal, we are having one picture here of Taj Mahal. Here you can see this is the picture of Taj Mahal. Here in the center you can see there is water course and many fountains are there. What these fountains are doing, they all are helping to cool the surroundings, and they put down the dust also. This Taj Mahal, you all know, that is in Agra. So this is landscaping, that is a very important component of the Mughal architecture. Now Babur, he built many that architecture, many buildings he have made, and that building they have made with the extra thick wall, and that was the thick walls that were working as insulator. Insulator means it was not the thick walls, it was not allowing the that sun hits to come inside the room, and many cool streams of water that was running under the stone floor to cool them. And there also that many khas screens were there. Khas means that is an aromatic grass. Aromatic means fragrance one, whose roots are woven into mat. As usually you can, as we are using coolers, in that cooler this khas mats are nowadays we are using. So that kind of khas screen was there along with veranda, and that these khas screens, they were absorbing the heat from the hot loo winds. Now the Muslim rulers, they was very fond of this architecture, and they were very great patterns of architecture, and they all have adopted the indigenous style. Indigenous style means very native style, and in that they were using domes and true arc on their architecture in a very large scale. Now one picture I'll show that you have to identify. This one, can you identify this monument? Yes, this is Qutub Minar. Okay, so this Qutub Minar has been the construction of this Qutub Minar has been started by Qutubuddin Aibak in 1199, but it was completed by Iltutmish. Why? Because that Qutubuddin, he died. Okay. Now this type of typical specimen of Muslim architecture used arcs and geometrical design on a scale rarely seen before. Here you can easily see arcs are there like this. Okay, these are the arcs. So there are many. There is the combination of arcs and the geometrical design. Here you can say, like see here, corners are there. So in this Qutub Minar, this is the balcony of Qutub Minar. We can easily see all that arcs and geometrical design. This is very rare, and we are not easily and commonly see this kind of patterns in other monuments. Now if we'll try to divide that monuments before this period, then we will have the two categories there. First category will be, in this category, the building those were built for the ruler or built to serve administrative purpose, they will come. And the second kind of category of the were that were built for the public utility, means for the public use. In this, mosque, temple, tanks, wells, bazaars and karma sarai will come. Okay, sarai means lodge, you can say. And there are the, as the region are different, that land is different, so the people, they were making this all structures on the basis of the region, basis of the area. Okay, not only this, emperors and kings, they were making all these structures. Beside them, wealthy merchants and the landlords, they were also making these buildings. But there were the many other reasons for making this kind of structure. First is for charitable. Charitable means for charity or to help the people. Second is for religious purpose. Third is for commercial. Commercial means buy and purchase of goods. And some structures are there for personal use. Now the size and the shape of the medieval monuments as well as the material used, this all gave us insight to the technologies employed in their construction. Insight means capacity to understand or gain the accurate deep understanding. So when you will see these kinds of great structure or monuments, we think how this will be made, which kind of material have been used, because all this structure, they all are very old. Okay, so earlier that huge structures, they were only they were not having the dome like structure, they were having only towers and spires. Spire means a tapering that is kept on the top of the building in a conical shape. Nowadays, that are means after that when medieval period started, the monuments of that period, they are having arches, domes, and as they were used in mosque, palaces and mausoleums. First is Trebete or Corbelled. So in 7 to 10 CE, this kind of monuments were used. This kind of style was used in the temples, mosques, tombs and building, and that were attached with the large stepped wells. In Hindi it is called bailis. Now this style of roof, doors and windows were still made by the placing an horizontal beam across two vertical columns. A style of architecture, that architecture is called Trebete or Corbelled. Now here we are having one picture. Down you can see easily that picture is of Quwwatul Islam Mosque. So here first two pictures are there, A and B. B is the screen that is showing the structure of Quwwatul Islam Mosque. Screen means a flat vertical surface in which picture are shown. And B is the corbel technique that has been used in the construction of the screen. So A is the screen and B is the actual construction. After this we are having true arc that has been started in 14th CE. It is a pointed arc. Here you can see in the picture. It is a kind of pointed arc which is not supported by any beam. No beam is there. Okay. But by a stone that is placed obliquely to form the point. Here you can see. See, no beam is not there, but the stones are kept like that here. Okay. So this entire weight of this huge structure above the door and the windows were borne by the keystone that is called arch. This form of architecture was called arcuate, that is having the shape of a bow or curve, you can say. Down we are having picture of this true arc. First is that again that is the screening, and B part that is the actual construction. Third is dome. Dome is a large area that is enclosed by hollow, or you can say semicircular roof. We are having picture of this dome. Here you can see this dome is in Dargah of Salim Chishti. Okay. That Ajmer Sharif that we say, that is in Rajasthan. After this we are having limestone cement. Now at that time it became very popular that in building limestone cement were used. Now this limestone cement was popular because of its efficiency in binding together the constituent material. This property of limestone cement made it possible to erect huge construction quickly and easily. So what this limestone cement was doing, it was binding together all the constituents, means whichever constituents they were using for making that building, it was binding together, and whichever construction was made, this limestone cement were used, and it was quickly making it possible. Okay, so it was making it more stronger. And the medieval rulers, they had a number of architecture achievements, as they have made a lot of structures there. During this period, that Hindus and Muslim both, they have made the beautiful mosque and temples for worship. Now they have made these temples and mosque just not for the worship. Okay, they have made these structures or the temples, mosque, to show their power, show their prestige and wealth to the patrons. Now if at that time it was a kind of subject to make any kind of temples or mosques, so that they can show their religious fairs and they can show the power to the other people. Now you can see the picture of Jama Masjid. That is a plan of Jami Masjid that is built by Shah Jahan in his new capital है Shahjahanabad in 1650 and 1656 CE. So when this major temples and mosques, they were built by the kings, or they were made by the wealthy people like landlords, merchants. So what were they were thinking? They were making all this kind of structure so that other people will support them, and they will try to make their, or try to change their capital, as same have done by the Mahmud of Ghazni.